Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to tackle one of the most common and, one of the most destructive problems any homeowner can face, water damage. It's the kind of crisis that demands you act fast, and in this explainer, we're going to hand you the playbook for taking back control. So, let me just ask you a quick question. When you think about the biggest threats to your home, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it fire? Maybe a big storm with heavy winds?
Well, the answer might actually surprise you. The most relentless, kind of sneaky threat of all is water. Yeah, it can start as just a tiny silent drip and turn into a full-blown catastrophe before you even have a clue what's happening.
Okay, so let's dive right in and talk about why water is such a huge and often underestimated risk. It all starts with the world just outside your front door.
I want you to think about this number for a second. 54 inches. In some parts of the country, especially those humid, subtropical areas, that's how much rain they get in a year. That's more than a foot higher than the national average. It creates this constant pressure, just testing your home's defenses day in and day out.
And what's really fascinating, or, terrifying, is how all these things outside can create a perfect storm. You've got that humid air that's always trying to find its way in. Then you have soil that holds onto water like a sponge instead of letting it drain away. Add in a nearby river and those crazy temperature swings that can freeze and burst your pipes, and you can see it's just a constant battle against the elements.
So, that's the battle on the outside. But how does that actually play out inside your home? Where's all this water coming from? Well, the culprits are way more common than you might think.
This chart here really tells the story. Look at that, the #1 cause by a long shot. Just old-fashioned plumbing failures. We're talking about pipes that have seen better days, connections giving out, or a water heater that finally decides to rust through. After that, you've got your storm damage, slow seeps through the foundation, and of course, those sneaky little leaks from our dishwashers and air conditioners.
And this really shows the two main ways that water attacks your home. First, you've got the big, catastrophic event, that pipe that bursts and floods your basement in minutes. It's dramatic. But then you've got the chronic leak. The slow, silent drip inside a wall that you don't even know is there, just rotting your home from the inside out and creating a perfect little home for mold.
So, here's the most crucial point. The second that water gets where it shouldn't be, a clock starts ticking. And believe me, the stakes get higher with every single hour that passes. You are officially in a race against time.
Just look at this timeline. In only 1 hour, water is already soaking into your floors, your drywall, your subfloors. By the 24-hour mark, that drywall is starting to swell and fall apart. And by 48 hours, bam, mold can actually start to grow and spread. This is exactly why getting a professional in there fast isn't just a good idea. It is absolutely essential to stop permanent damage in its tracks.
Now here's something really important you need to know. Not all water is created equal. The pros actually classify it into 3 different categories based on how contaminated it is. Category 1 is what we call clean water, like from a broken water supply line. Category 2 is gray water. It's got some gunk in it. Think of an overflowing washing machine. And then you have Category 3, black water. This is the really nasty stuff, from sewage backups or river floods, and it's a serious health risk.
So how in the world do the pros fight back against this invisible invasion of moisture? Well, they use science. And there's a specific name for it, psychrometry. You can think of it as the secret weapon of water restoration. It's all about manipulating the temperature, the humidity, and the airflow to create the perfect environment to literally pull moisture right out of the building materials. This is what separates professional restoration from just guesswork. It's a precise, data-driven process.
All right, so now that we know the enemy, let's look at the actual playbook for taking back control. This isn't just about grabbing a mop and some towels, it's a systematic, professional process to get your home safe and back to normal. The entire process really breaks down into 3 distinct critical phases. First up is the emergency response. That's getting all the standing water out. Second is the structural drying. This is where we get rid of all that hidden moisture. And phase 3 is the final restoration and rebuild, putting it all back together again.
So let's zoom in on that second phase, the drying, because this is where all that science comes to life. The pros roll in with these huge industrial-grade dehumidifiers and high-velocity air movers. They even use things like thermal cameras to hunt down every last bit of hidden water. See, the goal isn't just to make things feel dry, it's to hit a proven scientific dry standard.
And this quote from the IICRC, that's the main group that certifies restoration pros, it really says it all. Professionals do not guess. They use data from moisture meters to prove that the job is done right. This is so important because it ensures that no hidden moisture is left behind to cause problems like rot or mold months or even years down the road. Okay, so that's the playbook for a crisis. But what if we could avoid the whole mess in the first place? Let's finish up with some really powerful, practical steps you can take right now. Here are 5 super simple checks that could literally save you a fortune. Every year, check those appliance houses for any cracks. Know exactly where your main water shutoff valve is and how to use it. Keep your gutters clean, get your HVAC system maintained, and please test your sump pump before the rainy season hits. These small things can prevent most water disasters. And if the worst does happen, okay, try to stay calm, but you have to act fast. Number 1, shut off the water. Then, kill the power to the wet area. Pull out your phone and take tons of photos and videos for your insurance claim. And your very next call should be to a certified professional. Remember, that clock is ticking. And all of this kind of brings us to our final thought. Water damage is a threat that you can both prevent and manage, but only if you're proactive about it. So take a moment to look around your own home. Sure, it's safe today, but is it truly ready for whatever tomorrow might bring?